Right, we are live. Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the Kiwi Lads channel. We are here for a monumental semi-final. Fiji taking on the South Africans. There's a spot in the final of the SYDNEY Sevens on the line, and the winner of this contest will be taking on New Zealand. Looking through at the starting lineups, it will be South Africa, who are considered as the slight home team, even though Fiji's closer, but it will be Christy Hrobala, Impevisa, Zane Davids, Sean Williams, Shilton Van Wyk, Delvin Blood and Ricardo James Duarte. Then for Fiji, it is Mothin Othangi. Also alongside him, Davida Dalgunu, a name who got recently added back into the Fijian side. Bafi Thuringa, Waisia Nathunu, Jerry Tawai. Huge amount of experience there for that man. Manueli Maisamoa and also Nadal Valo, the try-scoring winger, who will also be looking into run one for this match. Do let me know your score predictions in the chat down below. T Fonza said, go Fiji. Fiji all the way from Viniana. And the Fijian flags look like they are absolutely littered everywhere in the chat at the moment. And at the ground, there is so much support for the Fijians, which is absolutely awesome to see. If you guys are new to the channel, be sure to hit that subscribe button. We're going to be back with the final and the bronze final on the channel. Brilliant Fiji, says Samson. And also the Fiji flags from Atalini. Good luck to both, says Blues Nate. Yeah, one thing's for sure, this is going to be an absolutely awesome encounter. And it will be the South Africans now with Sean Williams to kick them off for the second semi for a spot in the final up against New Zealand. That's kicked high and anticlimactically, it's gone 9.5 meters rather than the 10. And now Fiji get themselves the quick tap on the halfway line. The last thing you want as the first kicker of the game, not getting it the 10 meters. It looks like Fiji have decided that they want to test out the scrum of South Africa early here. We're only 18 seconds in, one of the quickest scrums we have seen of the Sevens competition so far. Good luck, Blitzboks. Make South Africa proud, says Patricia. And yes, boys, you can do it. Go Fiji, go. 6.5 minutes left of the first half. The Fijians in attendance are rocking Allianz Stadium in Sydney. All about to be fed in by the veteran Jerry Tawai. All available. It's a loose one, though. And Impevisa able to jump on it for South Africa. So they will get possession back after having to win the scrum. All available. Zane Davids plays halfback. Now Ricardo James Duarte, the pocket rocket from South Africa. Massive spear tackle from Nadal Valo there. He caught him when he was slightly jumping and sent him back flying. Sean Williams now for the South Africans. 30 meters out. Just getting ragdolled. Adam Leal, the referee, almost getting involved in that one. Christy Hrobala goes across now to Delvin Blood. Duarte on the outside. They've got the big tank, the freight train. Zane Davids bumps off Maisamoa, who comes back for seconds and does manage to take him down in the end. Penalty goes the way of South Africa. Delvin Blood wasn't on the mark, so he's got to go back and do it again. Now, they will have the opportunity. I would think a scrum would be the best choice here for South Africa. Either that or just the quick tap and start considering going wide. They will go for the scrum, though. And don't count the block out before the last whistle, says King T. Exactly right. Both of these sides have potential of scoring 2 quick tries right at the end of a contest and changing the momentum of the game. But that was a massive shot of Ricardo James Duarte. You've got to admire, though, Maisamoa. He got bumped off by Zane Davids, and he said, okay, you got me once. Let's see if I can get you the second time, and was able to take him down. Sean Williams now, scrum feed for South Africa, 10 meters out from the Fijian line. Important one for the Blitzboks to win. Sean Williams gets the ball in. Recycle quickly. Now Ricardo James Duarte. Short ball to Shilton Van Wyk. And he will score the first try of the semi-final. Ran a very flat line. Fiji, due to having to do that scrum, they had 3 players locked into that scrum. And it did leave the gap out wide for Shilton Van Wyk to be able to go through. Fiji, they rushed up. But unfortunately there, Maisamoa a little bit too flat. Left that gap for him to run through, ran onto that short ball. Says Nate, exactly right. And Shilton Van Wyk scores the first try of the match, gets the conversion as well for the South Africans. And now the score is going to be 7-0 in favour of the Blitzboks. Like I mentioned, Fiji nowhere near out of this contest. There's still time to fight back. South Africa, they're one of those sides that normally average around that 25 points or so per game, unless they're in a close fixture like they were up against New Zealand, winning at 17 points to 14, which, to be honest, could be a very similar scoreline to what we see here between the two sides. Sean Williams of the Blitzboks about to kick off this one again. hoping to get at the 10 metres. This time, yeah, he just boots it down way into the 22. He decided, I'm not going to mess around trying to get at 10. Instead, we'll just get them deep into their 22. But my son Moa with the step, missed tackle there from South Africa. Ricardo James Duarte does clean it up. Nathungu now plays halfback, gives it off to Ndovalo, who's already scored a lot of tries. Zane Davids manages to get him. Offload off his back to Mothinothangi. Tried to kick it in behind, and it's a big mistake. It's now almost stolen by Delvin Blood. Played on the ground by Fiji. Probably lucky to not end up giving away the penalty there. Now Batidarenga has the ball, takes it down. Ndovalo goes off to Maisa Mo. This game's going to be played at a frantic pace. Ladies and gentlemen, Jerry Tuwai, the very experienced Fijian, wants to add one more title under his belt before he retires. Mothinothangi, one more ball on the outside to Nathunu. They have got the man out wide. Here he comes, Batidarenga. Doesn't quite get through the tackle the way that he wanted to. He's also gone down on a ball. I hope he's not injured. Didn't look too flash there. Maybe just the way that he did fall. Ndovalo now goes to Maisa Moa. They have got some big men out wide. Instead, they go on the inside. Nice work from Maisa Moa until he knocked the ball on, and South Africa take it back. Christy Horobala now goes inside ball to Delvin Blood. This is when South Africa are at their most dangerous, is in a counter-attacking scenario. Impivisa breaks through one tackle. Almost broke through the second, but Nathungu gets him round the bootlaces. Now Delvin Blood has a bit of a juggle of the ball. 45 metres out. Cross-kilt from Shilton Van Veek. Goes straight to Ricardo James Duarte. Tackled by Tavira Dalgunu. Penalty to Fiji. Zane Davids flopping into the breakdown and does end up with the penalty against him. Now Mothinothangi again. Goes one more. Another step. Jerry Tuwai goes off now to Mothinothangi. Another Valo ball being put down by Fiji, and the scrum now will go to South Africa on the 22. That time it was Waisena Thungu unable to hang on to it. He's definitely a legend of the game, saying this as a Safa, says T7, and Jerry has played many years so far. He's a brilliant player, and he just seems to add so much to this young Fijian side in terms of keeping everyone calm, keeping them composed. And this is one of those games that kind of experience can be absolutely massive for a side. Well, Fiji uncharacteristically make a mistake, says John. Yeah, we've seen a few so far in this match. The drop balls, couple missed tackles. Not the Fiji we're used to seeing, who are normally extremely clinical in every opportunity. Now the ball's been fed in by Baron, who's already out on the field now for the South Africans. Now Ricardo James Duarte, Delvin Blood for the corner. Did he put his hand on the try line? Or the sideline, I should say, as he scored? They're going to have to check this one. It's extremely close. And they think that it was just in the field of play by the sounds of it, is the first initial reaction from the commentators. I think it was close. I know he went out. It's just whether or not he got that ball down and then went out. This was a massive moment, though. In this one, close to the touchline. Ooh, boot doesn't touch. And then from there, I think it's simultaneous. The hand is down, but the ball might have just touched the grass first. That's one that could have easily gone either way. Literally either way, easily. For them, they're just checking that foot again. The foot doesn't go into touch, but the ball by this much does go down first. What time will the final start? It is going to be at 10:26 p.m. New Zealand time. It's when that one will be taking place. And also, Hamish, you look rough, says Stephen. Cheers, mate. It's good to see you again. Is your mum feeding you correctly, or is it sunburn? No, it's just different lighting. I am in a different setup at the moment, so that is why I'm looking very tanned, which I'm obviously not, as some of you guys will know. Ball grounded that touchline, says Nate. So it will be Delvin Blood scoring right in the corner. Now, Ricardo James Duarte, he has nailed some of the kicks right near the touchline. Is this another opportunity for him to be able to do just that? How should we cover Black Cats versus India T20 match today? Probably not today, just with work starting up tomorrow. It's going to be away to the right-hand side, so 30 seconds left. And I really miss watching the game. This is an exception just to tune into your commentary, Hamish, while the rest of the family is actually watching since the reaction. Let me know what's happening, says Sammy Souza. Well, we very much appreciate you being here, mate. At the moment, Fiji, they're going to have to find a bit of a fight back. They do want to win this contest. So we're going to have average the least errors per game of all teams this weekend. 1.3 errors per game, whereas Fiji already in this game, I can probably count 3 or 4. My son more, straight through. Now James Murphy considered the pass, doesn't go for it in the end. The ball is loose. Impivisa gets it once again for South Africa, and another unforced handling error for the Fijians does lead to them putting themselves under pressure. Baron trying to block that one was the big man, Batirarenga. Now going off to the short side, James Murphy for the South Africans, a unit and a half. Ball over there. Oh, that was Batirarenga's ball almost for Fiji. Baron sits up for him now. Sitting on the halfway line, just drifts back in the pass to Impivisa. South Africa, they are using up some extra time in this first half, so they're willing to go a little bit, they're willing to use a bit more endurance here to try and sneak one more try up against Fiji. Inside ball to Baron, who's going to run it in. It was a flat pass, but I believe it just traveled backwards, and South Africa get themselves the third. And also, we have got their life starts. How much do Sevens players get paid? Probably very little. No, I think it would be a little bit overall. And also, can you put the game timer in picture? So that is what this little tiny 8 is supposed to be. They do sometimes get it a little bit wrong, but yeah, that little tiny one down below is what the time is as well. But I will keep you updated throughout it. Why has Fiji regressed? As a coaching, I wouldn't say they've regressed so much. Like they struggled a little bit in New Zealand. They seem to be one of those sides that if they have a month off for the Seven Circuit, they come back and they're not quite the same as they were, but then they build into it again, which is important. And this second half is going to be a massive one for the Fijians if they do want to try and go back and win this contest. They're going to need everyone on their A game. We're talking all of the bench. Joshua Vakunarabili, the size of that man, definitely going to be important. Also alongside him, Naduva, Jeremiah Matana, Ioane Teba, and of course, Filippo Pokayaro. And Baron, my favourite, says Rian there. And Go the Box says Joseph in the box are just getting better, says Roll Off. And it could be a possibility of a New Zealand versus South Africa final with France versus Fiji for the third place game. Fiji mainly peak at World Cup season, says D7. See, that's the thing. During the regular season, Fiji sometimes do struggle, but they do also always finish relatively high up there. Whereas you look at when it comes to the either Commonwealth Games, Tokyo Games, the Olympics, that is Tokyo Games, but also the Rugby Sevens World Cup, Fiji just go right up to here and always manage to do very well. It's only the first half. Yep, game of 2 halves. Exactly right. If Fiji did concede 17 points in this first half, there is a high chance that we could see South Africa concede 17 in the second. It all depends about the momentum, and that is the beauty of Sevens. You never know who's going to have it until they have it. And Donna DB has said, come on, Fiji. She wants to see them come back, make the final to go head-to-head with the Kiwis. Jerry Tawai, experience personified at the moment for Fiji on the Seven Circuit. He's telling his youngsters, go out there, let's show them what Fiji can do. Let's try and get back into this. First try's ours, last try's ours, anything in between's a bonus. Give the speed up in the second half, says Patricia, and fair play, mate. Good to pop in every now and then. Super Rugby coming up, says Blues Nate. And there's on Kiwi, says Tamanui. At the moment, they're playing a little bit of Bon Jovi at the ground, firing up the Fijian supporters, firing up the South African supporters, and absolutely rocking the Allianz Stadium. Everyone singing along with a bit of living on a prayer. Could the Fijians be living on a dream of making it to the final? All they need is just a quick couple tries here, and Bok is going to destroy Fiji, says Joseph, whereas Josiah is saying, come on, Fiji. So we've got a little bit of a mixed bag in terms of who's going for who at the moment. Nice inside ball to Jaden Baron. Now Ricardo James Duarte goes off to the left-hand side, inside ball. Here comes Christy Robala. And already South Africa looking to be aggressive, but Fiji win themselves the penalty in the breakdown, and it's none other than Jerry Tuwai who was able to get it. Now, Mothino Thangi on the outside. Quick hands. I do see Vakurabili is out there on the park, and now he pins the ears back. Inside ball to Waisea Thunu. Offload again. Fiji. How have they not been able to get over the try line? Thunu just hangs onto it. That is absolutely sensational South African defense, and they win themselves the penalty. That shows the desperation and the amount that they're willing to put into this contest. Fiji will lose. South Africa already 17. The defense is good, says Billy, and that has just proved it right there. Vakurabili, inside ball to Nathunu, but just dragged down by Christy Robala. Then from there, Jeremiah Matana looked like he should have been able to make it. And then Ricardo James Duarte tackles everyone. And now South Africa win themselves the penalty. Like they've just said, any other side in the seventh circuit would have conceded right there. But they did absolutely sensational, and it's come at a cost. Ricardo James Duarte got the ice pack on the shoulder. Hopefully it's nothing too serious, as if South Africa make it to the final, they certainly do not want to not have him out there. And the box says Gareth. And also we'll be there, let's go, says Blues Nate. Now, means that Darren Adonis does get to make his way out onto the park due to that injury of Ricardo James Duarte. They have still got Ryan Oosterhuizen as an option. It's good to see him back after a little bit of an injury on day one. Thunderstruck Bok, says a roof there, but it will be Darren Adonis kicking this one now for the touchline. Anyone who is new to the channel, be sure to hit that subscribe button. We're on the road to 22,000 subscribers. So if you do want to help us out, if you're enjoying the commentary and you are excited for the upcoming games, hit that subscribe button. Let's see how close to 22 we can get by the end of the Sevens competition. Sean Williams now with the line out for South Africa, 30 metres out from their own line. Double blow of the whistle. Second ball. There's two balls on the field. I feel like a game with two balls on the field would definitely benefit Fiji because they love that unpredictability style. It's gone in long, but not quite claimed cleanly by South Africa, but just clean enough to manage to bounce back to them. James Murphy now. I don't know what Fiji Sevens was doing. He was trying to sit on one of the Fijian players. That won't get you anywhere, other than maybe a smack in the mouth. Now Baron. Oh, big shot on him by Maisa Moa. He fell into it as well. Now Christy Robala passes on the inside. It's another knock on. Fiji starting to put in some big hits here. They've decided to fire it up to 150% and see if they can manage to maybe out physical or do a bit more physicality than the South Africans. Controversial topic corner. Hamish, what are your thoughts on the trend on trans women in rugby or trans women and women's rugby? I don't think we'll have time to talk about it for this one, seeing as this game has been all out pace, but I'm sure at some point you'll probably ask it again. Also, we get that Fiji win for size, but forget about sevens, it's about speed, says Life Starts. And they have got plenty of it with Bukayaro, Ioane Teba, both coming off the bench. Also, Naduva as a last-minute option. Bukayaro now feeds the ball in. Going to be Fiji going off to the right-hand side. One more pass. Ioane Teba with the bump off. Sean Williams drags him down. Now, it will be Nadovalo. Goes off to Jeremiah Matana. Ball on the outside. Here we go, Fiji offline, and Bukayaro with the massive step. One more pass. Fiji score their first try of the match, and they're running back to the mark to take the kick. They are now firing up the Fijian crowd. If they can get this kick over, be absolutely massive. I'm enjoying the yelling and screaming by my neighbours in Fiji alike whenever it's Fiji in position, says Semi Souza there as well. Very nicely done, Ioane Teba. Found that offload to Filippo Bukayaro, and I mentioned about how dangerous that man can be. He was one of my key players when I was doing my preview. And Ioane Teba does manage to get that one. Now it's a tough kick for Fiji. It's got the distance, doesn't have the accuracy, goes away to the side. And now the score is 5 points for Fiji. 17, just goes to 10 metres. South Africa get it back. Zane Davis, interception, pass opportunity. Baron smashed over. He's been flattened by Fiji. It could be he was falling. They might check this one again. And also, we have not over yet. Any fuel left in their tanks, says Blues Nate. And also, we have got there, yes, Fiji, go, Fiji, go. It looks like Baron, he's taking off his kick. There'll be a bit of a stoppage here. And also, we have got there, order of thoughts. Okay, easier one then. Thoughts on feminist art of post-communist Cambodia. That is one of your specialties, I believe. Distracted Sports. We have to talk about that one when we do a cricket match, perhaps. Fiji might be in trouble, says John. And there as well. But currently 3 minutes 30 left. Ioane Teba, he's fired up. He's saying, come on, I'll give you another big hit if you stay down. After that one, you ain't seen nothing yet. Fiji, they've got 3.5 minutes to score 2 tries and convert both of them. That man is dressed as a chicken and is holding his breasts, which is something that chicken have. So maybe makes sense. That child's crowded sevens always crack me up. You always see so many walks of life, all there, all loving the game. Whether you're 10 years old, whether you're 100 years old. Well, I don't know whether there's so many 100-year-olds at the sevens, but we'll say instead 60 years old. Who's that man? I'm not sure who he's supposed to be. I know he's a rugby player. Kind of looks a little bit like Jason Momoa. And also Fiji with those big hits, take everything out of them. Strength, Fiji are walking, says Spider Meek. But then it can also make your opposition, a little bit more hesitant. I mean, we've seen David Baron, or sorry, not David, but we've seen, I've forgotten his name now. Darren. No, that's Darren Adonis. What is Baron's first name? I can't think of it now, but Baron, we've seen him taken off the field here because of that injury. I thought he might get sent off, but glad he did not. That one's kicked downfield by South Africa, who currently do have the possession. Jaden Baron, that's the name. Just had to wait a little bit longer, and then it came to me. And also we have got there, it was Todd Clever. Clever. Why does that name ring such a bell? I know he's currently an ambassador, and good job, Oosthuizen. Not Oosterhuizen, says Erno. Yeah, I did learn from what you told me. I'm working on the names as best I can. Sean Williams now with the line out, taking plenty of time, almost 30 seconds to throw that one in, but South Africa know that if they use up a little bit more time, short ball. And now, once again, another big hit from the Fijians. They win the penalty. The ball's been thrown away. They're asking for it. They've got it back. They're going to take the quick tap. Fiji not out of this contest yet. Go on with the wide cutout pass. Now, Dalkunu, ball on the inside, looking for the offload. And Nodovalo able to find it. Now, Bukayaro thinks about going wide instead. We'll go back to the short side. Fiji, it's an interception pass. My Samoa's dropped it. It's going to be advantage over. Darren Adonis in a foot race with the Flying Fijian, and Darren Adonis has got it. Nodovalo's asking for the penalty, but I believe this is going to be the try for South Africa, and it is awarded. Both men just threw absolutely everything into that. Darren Adonis, he's only recently come out on the field. He also has a sore shoulder. South Africa going to run out of halfback soon. Talk sense, please, says Vinny. You're probably in the wrong place then, because I talk quick enough that even my brain doesn't know what's going to come out next. But Darren Adonis slams it down. Nandovalo probably very lucky to not end up with an ankle injury there. And also we've got the Hamish coach needs to go, says Lake Show. Or Lake Shore, I should say. And also now we just need to repeat against New Zealand in the final, says Roloff. But the double thumbs up from Delvin Blood. South Africa with the successful conversion as well, just adding a few more points onto the board. It's going to be 24 points to 5. 3 converted tries in only 1 minute 15 now. If Fiji want to make it through to the final, they will be playing France in the next contest for the Fijians. And it's the way that it does sit currently. And that seals it for South Africa, Fiji, and New Zealand in third place playoff. And also we have got there, Bullabok's too good, says Laufili there. Sean Williams about to kick this one off. They'll use up a little bit more time, of course. You don't want to rush it just because Fiji can score 2 more tries. And this time, Notavalo, he's put the ball down, but it's an interception from Shilton Van Vyk. He snipes it from the Fijian backline, and that will be another try now for South Africa, sitting 31 points to 5 up now, up against Fiji. And to say that I don't think many people predicted this as a scoreline is probably an understatement. I think I went Fiji by 5 in my prediction, but I said either side will win it by less than 7. This is not less than 7. This is 27 or 26 points at the moment difference between them. And also we have got there Tosaviti and there Tosa Fiji, says Amrik. And I'm sure Fiji will fire back in their next game. It will be up against France. It's going to be an awesome game, and we will be covering that one on the channel as well. The kick is successful. Now making the score 33 points to 5. And Vanakaviti says Josiah. But anyone who is new to the channel, like I mentioned, be sure to hit that subscribe button. We're going to be back for a lot more sevens in the near future. South Africa, they've been the better side in this match. Fiji, just a few too many handling errors early in the contest, giving away that position. Now Sean Williams just kicks at the 10. Nicely taken, but we know Fiji, even though it's after the full-time siren, they will keep on fighting to try and get one more. Bukayaro, big fend in the face of Zane Davids. Now thinking about the short side for Naduva, wrestled down by Delvin Blood. Ball bounces back again for Bukayaro. Nodovalo, first receiver here for Fiji. Now up the middle, trying to get the offload. They find it. It will be the last-minute try for the Fijians. It will not win them the game, but it will once again be a finishing try for the Fijians. Nodovalo just falls over the line, taking some deep breaths. That is his 5th in the Sydney Sevens so far. Good job, Bok. Have a cold beer and wait for the final, says King T. So maybe don't have a beer before the final. Have a beer after the final. Might be the better recommendation. Are you allowed to play rugby while under the influence of alcohol at professional level? I wonder. I don't think you should be able to, but it's probably a disadvantage to you more than anyone else. And change the players. Hopeless. Can't tackle and too much missed tackle, says Ladua there. And there's been a great sevens competition, says Justin Harris. There's been plenty of excitement throughout it. You can hear that the crowd are almost stunned to silence with the result of this game. 31 points to 12. The South Africans have got themselves the victory, and they will now go on to face New Zealand in the final. Then we have also got Fiji versus France. That is another game that we will be covering on the channel. JT Fencing and said thanks for the live updates. No worries at all, mate. We've got plenty more coming up in the future. So be sure, ladies and gentlemen, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Be sure to leave a like on the live stream as well. It is hugely appreciated. So far throughout Shilton van Wyck's Sydney Sevens, he's been able to get himself 6 tries. He scored 2 in this contest and will also be hoping to get 1 in the final. Congrats, South Africa, says Kalera. And there, and yeah, nah, don't drink alcohol and play rugby, says Blues Nate, and play league with a few massive hangovers in my dumb days, or my dumb young days, says Nazi Williams. And also we have got there, what a bad team Fiji is. Players don't have speed at all. This is the worst Fiji has ever had. Some players need to retire. Wake up, please. You're an embarrassment, says Kay. To Fiji, of course, I should mention, not to me, hopefully. I know. I have been called an embarrassment before on these live streams, though, so kind of used to it. But yeah, Fiji, they've got some big decision-making to come up in the future. Whether or not that is certain players losing their spot on the side. Who else do they bring in? That is another one that they'll have to think about. What about the French ladies? Talking about the Aussie girls, brother. Says, or taking out the Aussie girls, brother. Very impressive from France. Same with the men and the women. They always, for France, seem to cause upsets. What time the next game, says Nazi Williams? So the next game that we are going to be covering will be happening at, it is 8:25 p.m. New Zealand time. That is Samoa versus Ireland. So that will be the next game that we've got. I don't believe we'll be covering Argentina-Tonga in the 9th place playoff that I know of. But then also we will be covering France versus Fiji at 9:29. And then also the cup final between New Zealand and South Africa that is happening at 10:26. We've also got the women's final, I should mention, that is just around the corner. That will be at 9:56 p.m. New Zealand time. We are also doing that game. But thank you all very much for tuning in. Be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Also, be sure to check out our post-match review that will come out on the channel maybe in about an hour's time, somewhere around there, where we break down what happened in this one. You are fancying Fiji. Get a grip, please, says Fanny in there as well. I mean, it's probably understandable to support Fiji in some ways. I mean, they're the Olympic champions. They won the Rugby Sevens World Cup. No one else has done that. So Fiji, probably why a lot of people do support them. They put titles on the board, which is the main thing. In New Zealand, says Baramek, and also congrats South Africa, Fiji all the way. Says Kurisali, or is Kurisalili. Hopefully I've said that correctly. And Blitzboks to win against New Zealand. Go Blockies, go champions, says Gary there as well. But I do thank you all very much for tuning in. We love seeing the timer with seconds because seconds count, says Hank there. Yeah, sadly, the live streaming software, I've actually reached out to them before and said, is there any way of adding a live stream like timer or anything like that, even if I had to manually do it? And they're like, oh, we'll get around to that. That was 2 years ago. So they still haven't really added it, sadly. But hopefully one day we can have like a timer down there, a scoreboard up there, everything along those lines. Be pretty awesome indeed. The end score in this game, 31 points to 12. Even though the scoreboard doesn't say so, that is what the game ended up being. But thank you all very much for tuning in. Be sure to hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you all in a couple hours for some more Sevens action.